In Photoshop, you can use layers to create all kinds of designs. You can also fill layers with gradients, patterns, images, text, and much, much more. But you can also fill them with effects. And you can combine that effect layer with layers below, images below. So this is for PC or Mac, and you can create some amazing designs with this approach. So let's just run through that. I've got this Adobe stock image. What I'm going to do is go to Layer and New and Layer. Just creates a new layer. Of course, you can use a shortcut as well. Click OK. And with that, what you can do, you can fill it. So Edit and Fill. At the moment, there's nothing in it. 50% grey is the one I want. So you can go down there, 50% grey, and click OK. Now you notice I've also got just another layer. I'll just remove that layer. That's from a previous tutorial. What you can also do is set the colours over here. Press D on the keyboard. Now, what I want is not this black and white. I want the white and black. Now, make certain you select this layer. This is going to be the layer for the effects, the layer 2, or whatever you, of course, call it. Now, you could, of course, just double click on it and just enter effects. So just something like that, so you identify it. Now go to Filter and go down to Filter Gallery. And the reason I went for the white and black, if you don't go for that, maybe you've got blue and green or something in there, the colours that will be used in this filter will be blue and green. So you definitely want the white and the black. So Filter Gallery, and I'm going for this one, Reticulation. Hard word to say, but going to go with that. And you can find that in Sketch. And you go here, Density, I'm going for about the middle, 27, foreground 50, background 0. And just click OK. It's a lovely noise effect. Click OK there. What you can also do now is use blend mode so you can actually see the image. Now just try out different ones, linear, colour burn, darker colour, all those sort of ones. Just go through them, try out the ones. You might find a really great one. Some really are not much use, but just try it out. So just go over here, Layers panel, and I'm just going to go down here. Colour burn, you can see the effect there, and I think that creates a lovely noise effect straight away. Maybe linear burn, and you can run through it, maybe go for vivid light, that's another one, harder light, and so on. Just try out different ones. Also, one thing I like to do is go to Image and go to Auto Tone. It just makes a nicer grain effect as well. So Image, Auto Tone. Now you can see a subtle change there, but the effect is even more obvious when you actually apply additional filter effects to this. I'm going to apply a wave filter, but there's of course lots of other distortions you can use and other effects you can combine this with. But with the wave one, it creates up a lovely sort of woodcut sort of grain effects that I really love, especially if you apply it multiple times, which is one of the great things about Photoshop. Never sort of apply a filter effect, using the default settings. Well, you can, of course, but it's always great to apply them sometimes 3 or 4 times to create even more unique effects. So with this layer still selected, go to Filter, and you can go down here to Distort and Wave. Now I don't generally go for the default settings. I'm going to go for 1, and I'm going for the wavelength in the middle, amplitude in the middle there, scale 100%, sine, and wraparound. So once you've done that, you can also click Randomize to create all kinds of variations of this design. So just click Randomize if you want, and you can see subtle changes there. Very hard, I know, in the preview to see it, but you can, and click OK. And now you can see the result of that. Now you, of course, can go and do Filter and Distort and Wave, do it that way. That's always one option, but you can also simply just go to Filter and Wave to repeat it. In the latest versions of Photoshop 2024, you've now got 5 filters here in the actual repeat. But in earlier versions, you will only see just 1. So Wave, and you can see now you get obviously an even better effect there. Wave again, Filter, Wave, maybe apply it, 5, 6, 7 times. So you've got something like that. And again, you might say, you know what, let's just go through and check out different of these blends. And I think sometimes you might find one that you might like Divide works better. Now some you can see like Hue, no effect whatsoever. But Colour Dodge, or maybe go up to Colour Burn, and so on. Just try them out. I think Vivid Light looks nice, Linear Light as well. But also what you can do is you can create multiple layers with the same effect, or maybe obviously create another layer and go through obviously the same process, build up another set of designs and apply different wave settings, etc. to those. Go to the layer menu and you can duplicate that layer, or obviously duplicate it other ways as well. Once you've done that, you can then transform that layer. So move it around, reposition it, as well as using different blending modes. So you can go to layer and down to duplicate layer, or use a shortcut of course, and then click OK. Now what you might want to do is you can move it. So with the move tool selected, you can reposition it. Now of course you might want to actually just go to the navigator so you can see the whole layer. You don't want this cut through here, and you can then just resize. You don't want to push it too far. Obviously it'd be pretty bad if you really make it massive in comparison with the image. But you can also rotate it, maybe apply other transformations. But also you might even go to filter and apply another wave. You don't have to keep the same wave for all the layers. And then you go over here to layers and go through blend modes and maybe apply different settings here. Maybe go for divide, or go up here to color burn. Once you've got that, again, you do exactly the same. Layer and down to duplicate. Click OK, and you can see you can build up multiple layers. And again, you just like I say, rotate it, maybe resize it a bit like that. Press return, and then again go over here and run through some of these blends. And maybe decide, you know what, that one works better than another one, and so on. And you can build up and create all kinds of complex structures on top of your image. Now you can also, if you want, go to this. You've got the background here. You can use adjustments with this. You can use a variety of adjustments. Now you can use, of course, an actual destructive effect. So you go to the image menu and apply a destructive posterize or something like that, posterize. But you can also use adjustment layers as well, which you can find in the layer menu. So you can use a variety of different color settings, but I'm just going to go with the posterize or posterize, however you want to say it. So go to layer and down to new adjustment layer, and you can go down here to posterize and select that and click OK. And now you can see here you've got limited, obviously the colors have been limited for that image. None of the actual layers above are affected. You can see there you've got the effect applied above this. Also you can modify this, the levels. Now personally the slider, when it gets very low like that, it's very hard to actually sort of move it. So I just like to enter the value in the edit field. And you can see then with that applied like that. And of course you can combine it with maybe other adjustments as well. And of course there is a window, adjustments. You've got a whole range of possible adjustments you can apply to your image. You can try those out as well. And you can always go back to them. These are all live, and you can remove, of course, at any time, any of these layers simply by selecting them and deleting them, or just go down here, select this layer here, and you can modify the setting here at any time. And you've still got this image perfectly intact and can still be modified itself. All kinds of variations can also be made via layers as well. So you might decide, you know what, color burn for the first one, the top layer, is probably better than maybe linear or whatever. And also you can then select the other ones and just change those as well. Just run through them. You might find a combination of soft light or hard light works better. But I'm just going to go with, say, linear burn there, or difference, hard mix, and so on, pin light. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Any questions, please put in the comments below. Always great to hear from you. Also, a thumbs up if you liked the video, or thumbs down if you didn't like the video. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Always adding new tutorials about Affinity Photo, Photoshop, Designer, and many, many others as well. Bye.